welcome Confraternity 2023. We're coming to you live from the grounds of St Lawrence's here at Runcorn in southeast Queensland. A very good morning to you, and excitement, a buzz all around the ground, all 6 grounds here. It's all about to get started in a few minutes, and my name's John Devine. Joining me, and this is my 4th confraternity, but this man's been to every one. He was here when he was in, probably in the womb, probably. How are you, Michael Crutcher?
Oh, John Devine, there's nothing quite like the first morning of Confra. We can see 6 fields right now in front and to our left, and these are weeks that these players remember for their lives, and we're about to start it, and it's a special feeling.
Most certainly. There's a bit of a chilly breeze here, as you expect. Not as bad as when it was in Bundaberg, when it was cyclonic conditions, but today, breeze is coming from your bottom of stream to your top of stream, so it doesn't really favour anybody. The setup for today, we've got a few new teams in as well, Michael. It's expanding, it's getting bigger, this beast. Yeah,
we didn't think Confra could get bigger. There's always a waiting list of schools who want to be part of this. This is the 43rd Confraternity Carnival, so started in 1980, the same year as State of Origin, and it's continued, and it's growing like Origin's growing. So this year we've got a record 52 boys teams and 12 girls teams. So we've got 64 teams here. They'll each play across these next few days. So a bit of a different format in Division 3, which is the first game we'll see. Division 1 and 2 for the boys are unchanged, and the girls this year with 12 teams will play off for 2 different trophies. So a lot to look forward to this week.
So stay tuned. Now, all 6 grounds will be live streamed for you. This one on the main field will be on the Facebook page, and all the other 5 fields, I think, Michael, are on the website of Confro.
Confraternitycarnival.com.au. Yep. You can watch every field live streamed all week for free, no charge whatsoever.
Live and free, that's what we like. That's the way we like it indeed. As you can see, right in the middle, there's the Mount Maria College to your left. So
2-minute warning.
They're like 2 minutes from my home. So, and I actually ran into Angus Neal, who was at West Brisbane Panthers and Valleys game. He's a Panther, and I remember him from last year. And as I said, he's the player with a mullet. Now I'm looking at these boys here, and there's 15 of them with mullets. So anyway, let's throw that theory out. But yeah, Mount Maria, great to see that they're here. And the other side is St Pat's and Good Samaritan from Gympie.
Yeah, so we've got Good Samaritan College who are making their Confro debut. So they're in a joint team with St Pat's Gympie this year as the teams run out for this first game of Confro 2023. So this is what we talk about with growth. Good Samaritan College only started a few years ago. Their highest year level at the moment is Year 11. So there's a bunch of boys from their Year 11 class that are here playing with St Pat's Gympie. So this is what we love about Confraternity Carnival. John, it brings teams from across the state to play against each other. We've got teams this week from Mount Isa, from Dalby, Cairns, Townsville, you name it, from those centres they're here playing. So this is a debut team, Good Samaritan College. Mount Maria is a team that's been around for a long time in this competition, but there's a first for Mount Maria today because their girls team makes its debut on a different field right now. So we've got the Mount Maria boys here, and the girls are a few fields away making their debut. So always something fresh with Confro, but it's great to see that Good Samaritan and St Pat's Gympie have joined forces and ready to play.
St Pat, on your right of screen, they'll be kicking off. Breeze may be coming from bottom right to top left here, but anyway, got to get away to a start. They're not going to actually kick into the sun. They just come off as both schools play rugby union in term 2.
Yeah, so St Pat's College, St Gympie and Good Samaritan have come off rugby union seasons. They've had a trial game together against St John's and Amboy, so they've had a little time to get some combinations. Mount Maria's been playing a Friday night lights comp, as they call it, against some of the local state high schools. So they've been playing the lights of Ferny Grove, Everton Park, and Mitchie High. So they've got themselves prepared as the siren goes.
That's the siren for all grounds to start. We're underway, Confraternity 2023, and St Pat's St Pat's and Good Samaritan will kick off, and Mount Maria will have the first set of 6 here for 2023. So Division 3, we are live. And, looking forward to 40 minutes of rugged rugby league. There's no stoppages, 5 minutes for half time. We run by a very tight clock, as you can imagine.
And Mount Maria got to the grand final last year for Division 3. They were unsuccessful in that grand final, but a number of players back this season, and they're keen to go one step better this year.
So 5 minutes short of halfway, looking to complete this set. They're going to kick early. That's just outside the 40, so doesn't come into play. It's not a bad kick, though. It's going to go over the sideline, and I'll go back to what the touch judge said, and he's going to say it's a scrum on the 12 metre mark, 10 metre mark, I should say.
Yeah, so we've got from Mount Maria their captains this year, Sam Lehner and Jordan Leishman, both players who played last year in that Division 3 Grand Final. So a number of these players, you'll see Luke Basham from Mount Maria, Sheldon Bedford-Parsons, he's back, as well as Brad Dempsey, and of course Angus Neal.
Got a player down, or he's just waiting to get up from the ruck area here. So heavy contact there coming through in the number 8 there, and Jordan Leachman, the skip here, says from Mount Maria. They've got numbers out here to the left-hand side here, but he goes back into the field of play. Just St. Pat's Good Samaritan player. That's 10 metres short half rise. A little knock on here. Defence here from Mount Maria. And they'll have great field possession here. Looking up a little bit despondent was Xavier Burness. Have a look at the replay. And he's lost that cold.
So Xavier's one of the St. Pat's Gympie boys here. There's about 9 Good Samaritan College boys in this squad. So we've got a pretty decent spread between both. But of course the Good Samaritan guys, grade 11 is their maximum. They're all Brisbane Catholic education schools here, these 3 schools.
Angus Neal with the foot. He goes back the other way, sees half a gap. Angus Neal tries to put a fend on, drives towards the 20 metre line, gets across that 20 metre mark. He'll get up and play it, looking for some forwards. They go to the left-hand side. The centre 3/4 comes into our now. That's Asaki. Looking for a quick play, but great quick play the ball here from Mount Maria. And the big forward goes charging in the line, Bradley Dempsey. And Dempsey put it on his backside here, and a good shot here from the defence from St. Pat's Good Samaritan. 11 out from the try line. Trying to get his way through there is the number 20 in Oliver Callaghan, and he'll get up, play it. Still 11 out. They went sideways in that play, did Mount Maria. Now they throw the big unit again. He has another carry in this set, and Dempsey, he's been rolled over. Last tackle now, says the referee. They're 9 out from the try line, 0-all, Confraternity 2023. They go to the right-hand side. It's with Campbell. The winger comes into play now. Does Bedford Parsons. He scored some tries, as I recall, last year in Mackay, and that will be a changeover. They're at the wrong end of the field. St. Pat's Good Samaritan. Good set of 6, Michael. Yeah,
really good set of 6. We talk about, defence being all about attitude, and that's a really good start there for the combined team. St. Pat's, Gympie and Good Samaritan, they defended well there, and we saw some big hits. This is what it's about, John, isn't it? I mean, already some big hits, some good defence there from the combined team, so a nice start as they try to bring the ball out of their own quarter. Yeah,
they want to get it on the back end of a good attacking set of 6 here and have a suffocating set of 6 defensively here, Mount Maria, to try and get that field position. Flood the tackler for a high one, so that's a relieving penalty. I don't think the coach will be happy with that.
You see, even though that was a bit high, and we'll see that this week, the players get up and they get back to their positions, and we talk a lot here, especially on this commentary, about who's going to win as this kick doesn't go out.
No, you're spot on, mate.
We talk about who's going to win, and that's really important, but the most important thing here, John, is what they call the spirit of confraternity, and we see it on display every time.
There's a little knock on here at the back of the script. Play the ball there. Davies comes up. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's actually Callaghan comes up with the area.
Yeah,
you're right. But any area, it just takes the greyness out of a head. Any contact with the head is just going to be.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's they fall into or whatever. It just cleans it up.
And sometimes at club footy, you might see a little bit of stirring that goes on, but Confro is such a good carnival for that spirit, and the players get back and they normally just keep going. It's good to see among these teenage boys.
So the kick didn't go out, so pretty lucky that they end up with the footy due to a knock on the back of the scrum. So the player kicking for the sideline, pretty relieved. See defence coming through there. It's with Rainbow, and they keep it alive here now to St. Pat's Good. And they go to the right-hand side, and the winger has to come across defensively. He puts his shot there, Bedford Parsons there. Otherwise, he's on his way to chalk, looking for a penalty. Play the ball is what's been asked. Juggling. Driving forward, so from one end of the field to the other, all of a sudden they're 1 metre out from their own try line, and now St. Pat's Good Samaritan are on the charge. Nailed her. Gets the offload out of the number 6. That's El Bun. 22 out, 10 in from our commentary side. Oh, he had a bit of a bow peep. That might be number 28, which I don't think I have on my team list. Anyway, probably just as well. He doesn't have his name on there. It might have been 18, wasn't it?
There was some impressive pace before from the right centre for the Pat's Good Samaritan team, Jordan Brown, and we'll see that this week in Confro as as teams tie, that speed becomes invaluable just to make some half breaks into full breaks.
And that's something we'll talk about later as we get towards Thursday and Friday. We'll see what the war of attrition puts on these players.
Yeah, well, this is the first of what these teams will play. Well, this is when Division 3 is a bit different this year, but they'll play 2 games today. So these are 20-minute halves. They'll play 80 minutes of footy today. Tomorrow, the Div 3 teams would normally play 2. They're playing 1 tomorrow in a new format this year. They'll play 2 on Thursday instead of 1 on Thursday.
Joel gets across the 40, steals a couple of metres as he walks forward. Now with Campbell, out the back they come as the Bedford passes coming from the left wing onto the right wing. Now last tackle. Good defence around the ball carriers with Angus Neal. Looks for a kick into the corner here. He's on his own. No, he's got a bit of help out there. Flies high. Still alive with the footy. Has been knocked back here. The referee will say that'll be play on. So anyway, good kick from Neal.
Yeah, we see this game at the moment just looking for something to break it open. We've seen both teams have been able to defend sort of in their own quarters, but you know, sometimes we see here St. Pat's Gympie and Good Samaritan just bringing the ball out again. They just want to get in the back, another one of those penalties or one of those busts to get down that other side of the field. We should say these fields are in great condition here too. They're excellent condition. This is the main field for St. Lawrence's College that you'll see. So there's a cricket pitch in the middle, but it's pretty tender. It's not a hard cricket pitch area.
Good contact here. So 10 minutes will elapse soon, and that'll be probably when they really settle in their work. They would be nervous. First game of the carnival. And obviously with St. Pat's and Good Samaritan, they're probably trying to get to know each other. It's the last tackle. Gets to the kick, and the halfback flies out in the air there, and Jake Lynch. Taken there by, I think that might be Jack Seiki, the number 4. Gets the offload to Bedford Parsons. He goes over the halfway line. So that's the first tackle. So they're already inside St. Pat's Good Samaritan's territory. 9 in there now.
And we know too the 8:40 a.m. kickoff, John. I reckon it's been a bunch of years before some of these boys might have played at 8:40 a.m. So this is some of them might normally be in bed school holidays at 8:40. They've warmed up and they're playing footy.
It's still about at 10:40. It's ridiculous what time they get out of bed. Half the day's over. Muat, good carry here, looking for a strip. There was the lock forward in Burness. Let's see him get up, plays it. Dummy half is Oliver Callaghan. Now with Neal, cut out ball. It's with Rainbow, has to come back into the field to play here. He's running out of turf. Now the last from the referee. 12 out from the try. Neal goes himself, puts a little kick, it's too big. A little grubber kick would have been a better option there, but anyway, they'll get a restart on the 20.
Yeah, it's a good enterprise there from Mount Maria, but also the new combined teams up for that defensive challenge at the moment. They've held firm. If you're hearing anything behind us like train horns, we are right next to the train line, so we're going to have a bunch of trains going this week. If you hear it, there's a penalty that they wanted, Pat's Gympie and Good Samaritan. So, John, if you hear train horns this week, it's because there must be livestock on the track and they've got to move it. They're very loud.
It's something you get used to, I guess, but that's the second relieving penalty here for St. Pat's Good Samaritan to get around there. They don't go for touch this time. The last time we didn't find the chalk, so they decided to actually run it up. And they've done that almost to the halfway. He'll get up and play it. Will Bolzer. Good tackle there. Lovely copybook stuff there from Brodie Campbell. He brings down the big number 8. Kobe Green. Again, they're trying to muscle up the forward. Just trying to get to a completed set here. Noki over halfway. Dummy half his finger. Putting it through the hands as they've done the hard work in the middle. Keeping it alive. Here they go again. Do St. Pat's Good Samaritan. The chance for the wing on the right-hand side to go further, but he only gets within 15 short of the try line. So all of a sudden the play's at the other end of the field on the back of a penalty. Do St. Pat's Good Samaritan. Well, there's a penalty. Here's another one above the horizontal.
Well, this is the first really good chance here for St. Pat's Gympie Good Samaritan in this half, so they get a penalty 10 metres out.
Do they go through the hands? They got a fresh set of 6. They are going to go through the hands. It's with a lot forward. Burness driving towards both lines, the try and the sideline. No way through there. The defence comes up too quickly. He shuts down the play. Dummy half again is George Finger. He has an option. throwing another forward at the line here. Burness standing the tackle, finally falls down underneath the weight of a couple of defenders. One big back line out to the right-hand side. They've gone the wrong way for my Michael Crutch. He'd probably go and score and make a liar out of me, but they had like 5 on 3 out wide. Probably still do have the numbers. Mount Maria need to scramble to the left-hand side. Here they come to the right-hand side. Cut-out ball. Almost an obstruction. Goes without it, so relief there for Mount Maria. So good defence there from the West Mitchelton College.
Yeah, there was good defence here. You're right, they had an overlap there, and I was about to say one of the things that St. Pat's Gympie, and there's a penalty there, not square at marker, but one of the things that St. Pat's Gympie and Good Samaritan have done well was play pretty basic footy. They're obviously not trying too much fancy stuff. They're using their hands, which is good to see, and they went unders there for that ball instead of going out to the right, but there's enough promise there, and that one doesn't find touch. It does find touch. So you like the way this is being played, John. It's in good spirit. We're seeing some good runs. And again, we talk a lot about the Division 1 guys because there's some seriously good players in Division 1. But Division 3 also gets some pretty good players. And I'll tell you what, the number of good, tough forwards, middles who get to this comp in Div 3, and you just love them. You see them game after game. They take the ball up. They're no frills. Get up, play it, wait for the next hit up. It's always a feature.
Diggles come with his first carry, replacement player. He's a big unit. I hope you're feeding that guy. Now with Sayua. Sayua gets manhandled to the ground here. Good defence here coming from Burness again. A dart from dummy half from Callaghan. He's dangerous. I think Neil, he's out to the left-hand side. He's not going to go there. He's too far away for that pass to actually make a difference. Muat again. That's his second carry here. Good one, the two. Post-contact meters, gets in within 20 metres of the try line. They come to this right-hand side here. Show and go here from Campbell. Campbell gives the offload now, and Bedford passes to score the first try on field 1 for Confraternity 2023.
They threatened there the defence from St. Pat's Gympie. Good Samaritan had withstood it for some time now, but some good move there from 2 guys back from last year. Brodie Campbell, he was back from last year. He was in that team that lost in that grand final, and we see the play now. Just enough, that step off the left just isolates a player, and enough room there for another 2022 Confro rep in Sheldon Bedford passes to score. You're right, John, the first of what will probably be many tries in the next week.
End-to-end stuff here, and it's on the back of a penalty there for when end over end. Just remembering that St. Pat's Good Samaritan are down the other end of the park not so long ago, threatening the right-hand corner, and all of a sudden at the other end. So this is explosive footy, but it was very good from Brodie Campbell. He hung on that ball long enough here just to draw that outside indecision there from the defence from St. Pat's Good Samaritan, and opening a big gap there for Bedford passes just to walk through. So Neil with the conversion, he's taking it back 8 in.
Yeah, we've mentioned that obviously the history of this competition being the same in terms of duration as State of Origins. Both started in 1980. 7 members of the Queensland squad last Wednesday night were Confro graduates. So we see that all the time. Roughly about half of that squad are Confro graduates. So they're often Division 1 players as Angus prepares to kick.
The clock doesn't stop. We keep going. 20-minute halves, 5 minutes for half time. He's going to push that to the left-hand side as he expected. He had the legs, but only because of the breach, so 4-0 score remains.
But we shouldn't think, as we watch the replay of this try again, and you're right here, just the way that Brodie just holds it up, that little step, the jink, draws that defence in, and opens enough of a gap for the first try. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of those players who go on to play for Queensland. You know, dozens and dozens of Origin reps have come through Confraternity Carnival, but we've also had some pretty good players in Division 2 and 3 over the years. And if you go back only a few years ago and you look at the program, there was a Division 3 team for Ambrose Tracy College, and listed in their players was one Ezra Mann. So he didn't actually play, he withdrew very late, but we do get some pretty quality players. But this is all about teamwork, especially, you know, that these guys who, they love Confro, they've been to school together, some of them for 13 years, and they get to come here and play with their mates for a week. It's very different to rep footy, and it has a great spirit about it.
This forward pack is just getting bigger by the minute. Jordan Leishman with a big carry there beforehand. He doesn't get the footy at this time here. He's a replacement player Pops it out the back here, gets thrown on his back, still alive here. Here he comes now, and it's with Dempsey, and Dempsey, the big unit. Get out of my way, says Dempsey. Gets the offload, keeping the lives now with Sayua, and Sayua gets to the 40-metre mark. So the forwards doing their business up the middle of field number 1 here at St. Lawrence's. Neil out to the left-hand side. It's with that man, the try scorer, Bedford Parsons. He's everywhere. He gets to the 30-metre line, 5 in from the far side. Numbers to the right-hand side here for Mount Maria. If they come that way, but they're going to throw another forward to the line there, and he has another carry there on Sayua. 28 out on Mount Maria. They lead 4-0. It's with Bedford Parsons. He's going to take it. No, he shaped a kick and decides to run the ball. Gets within 20. Last tackle now here for Mount Maria. Options left and right. Where do they go? They go to Neil. Does he put a kick in? Readjust from the last time. Here's an opportunity. Flies high, goes and misses everybody. He'll go touch, and that will be a changeover. Well, he'll get there, Neil. Just a little bit too much juice on that one again.
Yeah, enterprising set again. Those big forwards going through the middle there, through that cricket pitch area, and getting some of those offloads, which are so handy for yardage. But again, St. Pat's Gympie, Good Samaritan, Bly up to that defensive task, and they've got only a couple of minutes left. 2 minutes 50 the clock says here, and that'll be the hooter that goes for all grounds to signal half-time in these first games.
I don't think we normally don't have a clock, did we? Remember last year, did we have a clock because we didn't know when it was going to finish?
No, that's right, we didn't. This year we've got, so this is what St. Lawrence's have got here with Chris Ledbetter and his team.
He's a timekeeper.
We can see everything.
He's a Doctor Who. He's a Time Lord, is Chris Ledbetter. So that's 30-metre line. Now 4-0. Probably against the run of play here. I think Mount Maria, we have a few more points, just haven't been able to get across the line here. He falls away. There's Dempsey. The big unit gets back into the line. Here they come. A little kick over the top. Nobody home. This man with the headgear's got some wheels. Has he got some wheels? He'll go all the way to the try line. That's a wonderful try. It's the centre three-quarter, and Jordan Brown, I think you'll find. And St. Pat's, goodness, Good Samaritan hit back straight away with a 4-pointer of their own.
Oh, that's a quality try late in the half, and we mentioned him early. He made a bust earlier, Jordan Brown. He had that pace. He got around his man on that right side, and they had some space out there earlier, so that's a really smart kick with not long to go, and we'll see this replay. It's worth watching because
this is a city where the sun shines all year, where we sing when we're winning, and we play without fear. This city is a family, and families stick together. We've always been in it to win it. This city never says never.
Second half about to get underway. A couple of chances from both squads. Tight ball game, 6 points at 4, just a conversion. The difference between these two sides. Michael Crutch and myself, John Devine, live here. Confraternity 2023 from the lovely grounds of St. Lawrence's. I want to find out if actually the field is actually named after everyone rather than Field 1. We'll find that out a little bit later. Give a bit of acknowledgement to this ground that's named after somebody.
And it's been a successful footy field in recent years. St. Lawrence's in their rugby union AIC competition, winning the last 3 years.
Yes.
So it's been a successful field for the home team. Now we've got people joining us from everywhere on the live stream. So if you're watching via Facebook, as the siren goes, please get on and tell us where you're watching from. You can get on, make comments on the Facebook page. So please feel free to do that.
Knocked back the first one, but the second one was a knock-on, so Mount Maria on the attack straight away. Yes, you can watch all games live. Field 1 will have commentary, and the other 5 will be on, which will be on the Facebook page, and the other 5 fields are on the Confraternity.com. Now, one question, I don't know whether I asked you over the years, is there anything else like this in Australia?
No, nothing like this in Australia with the intensity of these schools like this. So as we said, it's not rep footy, this is school footy.
Yeah.
So these are mates, been together for a long time. So we've got the National Schools Championship on next week. And of course, that's rep footy. This is these are guys who bring a great spirit to this comp.
Has to reach for it. The big unit goes for a charge towards the try line. They're trying to carry him across the line there. He's having a whale of a game with Bradley Dempsey. He heads over the try line. They come to this left-hand side. Neil has to reach over. Goes back the other way to Angus Neil, and he's going to be pulled down here by his opposite number there, and George Finger. He's also an inch from the try line. They go to the right-hand side, straight into play, trying to get across as the lock forward there, and Lanner. And Lanner, he's also only a couple of inches short. So far, St. Pat's Good Samaritan defence is holding strong. After an early knock on, they've got some footy that goes back the other way there. Just Campbell and Campbell. He set up that try beforehand, trying to score one on his own. He doesn't do so. They've got numbers. Parsons hangs onto the footy. Had players outside him. Now they're going to come back the other way on the last tackle, you would think. Dart from dummy half. Defence is strong, but not strong enough. Is the referee going to walk back and award the try? No, he's going to say knocked it on. Wow.
And the St. Pat's Gympie Good Samaritan College, your heart sinks when you drop the ball from the start of the half, but then when you see that sort of goal line defence, as we see a big pushback here.
Well, we've got a ruck and maul situation there, haven't we?
We have. So this is a real test for the new team, but they've been up to it so far, and we love this about Confro. The teams get together and just really defend that goal line. There was plenty of spirit in that, but here comes a test again from this dropout.
Great defensive set there. They denied. I thought for a brief moment that he was going to go over and score the try there. Oliver Callaghan, the 5'8", but anyway, Neil's going to let that one bounce for not the ideal thing to do. The lock goes forward in. Vanderbilt never let the footy bounce, and they get a penalty. Wow.
Don't we
How
know,
good.
Don't we know that schoolboy footy can change in a blink of an eye? So there we go from a dropout to a regather, and we're going to have St. Pat's and Good Samaritan taking a tap about 8 metres inside Mount Maria territory. So that's quality schoolboy footy. Now we should say too, John, we mentioned that the State of Origin reps who played last week, 7 of them are Confro graduates. We've got a whole bunch of former NRL players who are coaching teams here this week. Matt Geyer, the New South Wales Origin player. Tony Martin, his Melbourne Storm premiership winning teammate, coaching Cathedral College. Antonio Kafusi with Shalom. Riley Jacks with helping on the coaching staff at St. Lawrence's. We've got about 8 or 9 former NRL players who are coaching teams this week.
Fantastic. So all of a sudden, St. Pat's Good Samaritan are on the charge here as Jack Lynch gets to the 30-metre line. Get up and play it, looking for a forward runner. Finds, forwards combining with passing in the middle of the park. You've got to love that one, Michael Crutcher. Didn't go anywhere, but it's still good to see they can catch the footy and pass one. So another ball, and charging onto it is the number 10 there for St. Pat's Good Samaritan. And Noah Noki. So now Mount Maria have to do the defending. 10 out from the try line. Dummy half is their halfback in Lynch. Puts it into the air. Does the lock forward, and Vanderbilt, who made the break earlier, that's been touched. Has it gone backwards? No, a knock on. So luckily for Mount Maria, little finger stopped the try.
They had the numbers out there too. I mean, they're always difficult to catch those kicks, but they had about 4 players around the ball, and you never know where they're going to bounce and which direction they'll go. But we'll see Mount Maria now. What can they do off their own line?
I think this breeze is a lot more suspicious and sinister than we give it credit for. At first I thought it was coming straight across, but it seems to be swirling a little bit higher.
You're right. It's not Bundaberg 2019 strong, but by the end of today it could be quite strong, but certainly not what it was 4 years ago.
I'll tell you what was helping. There's a break here now with the Brody Campbell again, and Campbell with a clean set of heels. The big fellas, Campbell foot race. Campbell wins that foot race, goes over and scores a try. So we've gone from right to left in lickety split fashion.
Yeah, well, that's a very good try. We saw the speed from Good Samaritan St. Pat's down that right side in the first half, and there's a replay there in some ways. Campbell there again. This is a try from 80 metres out.
There's nothing doing either.
No, just a little dummy, and the shoulders turned on the defence, and he was off. There's a great little goose step too. And he's got sustained pace. Good chase from the defence, but he kept that going, Campbell, and that's a very nice try, which will be 6 points with the way he's been able to run that around.
Well, they've got some wheels on both sides of the park. Brown might be a little bit quicker there, but good stuff there from Campbell. As I said, there was nothing doing. Just made a gap through there.
Yeah, he just got the gap through there, and we said here's another one who's back from last year, Brody Campbell. And a lot of the coaches talk about this, the experience of guys who've played Confro before. Ollie Callahan in the Mount Maria team is in year 10, so he's the sort of player who might line up for 3 over his time as that conversion successful for a 10-6 lead. So sometimes the coaches talk about, as we see this replay again, it's worth watching again, just creating something out of very much little. But as soon as those shoulders turn, you know you're away there as a half, and nice little fend for a very good try. So some of the players who are first time up, Confro can be quite a head spin, you know, when you're playing all this footy over such a short period of time. You're with your mates, you're probably not sleeping in your own bed. You know, it's a week of fun, but it goes quick. The guys who come back for their second Confro, they know a bit about what it's about. They know how they have to get themselves through till Friday, and sometimes you can see the advantage in that in the second time around.
Campbell taking advantage of some forwards in that break there, so need to tighten that up. Is that big? It is too big. We should go back to halfway for a penalty.
We'll
just trying to see if it went out in the full, and it did.
That's that breeze you're talking about. Once you get up high like that, that breeze can take it. So we should say behind us at the moment is just a sea of tents. You can't see it on your screen, but it's a sea of tents from schools all around the place. They come and make it their base because these teams will play again later today. They won't go back to their accommodation. They'll stay here. So you get that real carnival atmosphere. The teams just getting over the bumps and bruises of the first game, getting ready for the second. We've got a full judiciary system here. If any players do happen to get cited for any rough play, whether it's accidental or not, we've got a judiciary here that's manned by one of the legends of schoolboy footy, but also a Brisbane Broncos employee in Steve Parle. So
he's got the easiest job, man.
It's a really good system.
Does he have anything to do with these? Because I don't see never seen a player sin bend or anything, and that's going to be a handling error there from Parsons. Well, I think the only one I remember may have been a bit of chat back to a referee last year. I think that was about the only time I've seen a blemish in this whole entirety of the 36 games I end up calling every year. It's just, I think, one blemish, and that's all I can remember. And that's on field one.
And there's a little judiciary set up in there. So what happens is the matters are dealt with as soon as the game finishes. So they go over, they wait, the panel is there, they see the video footage that Red Corner supply. So it's a nice little system, gets players, they know what's happening before the next game.
Yeah. I said it's in great spirit. That was just a blemish. It's the number one coach killer for mine. It's any time anybody has a chat to the referee, and that's just had a bit of a look there. Just got to take their eyes off the scoreboard here, St. Pat's Good Samaritan. Just play their sets and get to the other end. Yeah, they played at such a good tempo in that first half. They just kept their heads up, and they were awarded late in that first half, so they'll need to dig deep again here. The long range try came before, so they've got to defend their quarter. Neil, they come this blind side. They've got numbers, long cut-out ball, try time in the corner, and Rainbow will score off the back of a set play from the scrum. It all comes down to a handling error, and they made them pay. They did make them pay. The scrum try, not just at schoolboy level, we see it at NRL level as well. The set moves from the scrum. We see the move to the left. It just gave them an extra number there. Just drew in the winger, the left Rainbow, with a run down the sideline, Hayden Rainbow, for a try for the 14-6 lead. So sometimes we see too, we mentioned before this game that Mount Maria had the advantage of having a bunch of games with this team before Confro. They've been playing their Friday Night Lights series and developing combinations. We often see that in these games, the teams who come in fresh, and there are a bunch of teams even in Division 1 who are yet to really play rugby league this year. Yeah. They've been playing rugby union. Yeah, so this is their first taste of league. So we see different results. Sometimes you can see the teams that have had that cohesion have strong second halves, but that's not always the same. We've seen a bit of the spirit already in the team from St. Pat's Gympie and Good Samaritan Bly. They've been good, so they'll have to dig deep now. We've got roughly 10 minutes to go, and they're down by 14-6 with a kick to come. What can they do from here? 8-point lead as Neil has a bit of a look. Hive of activity. We can see the bunting in the background, the sun hitting that. It's wonderful seeing the orange and black, the tiger colours, or the bumblebee colours if you like.
It's a great wide shot where you get to see what's happening in some of those back fields.
Actually pretty good as Angus Neil. Has got the legs shot. Score remains 14-6. But you have a look at this back of the scrum. The 24 is created that second man. And with the lock forward coming out of the back of the scrum, he has caused indecision when 24 went towards the line. He brings the outside winger there from St. Pat's Good Samaritan, and it was an easy dance to the try line for Hayden Rainbow.
And sometimes when you come together late, like St. Pat's Gympie Good Samaritan have, you don't get a chance to really get your defensive pattern set up. You don't get your talk like you would have if you've had a few games together. So those things can be understandable early on.
So do they go for the short kick-off? I say nay. Kick it deep. Look for an error. That's going to be allowed to bounce again. Here it comes. Play on. Here we go again. It's with with Hibbard.
Referee's gone down and recovered too.
Oh, a sniper. He's lost his hat, but he'll get back and, professional. They go to the right-hand side. 6 to go, says the referee, or is he waving to say he's okay? He's with Davies, the number 20, gets across the 10-metre mark. They need to hit back here to St. Pat's Good Samaritan. Prop forward, he wants to make a mark on the game here. It's with Noah Noki, and Noki right underneath the crossbar, but he's about 5 metres short. Numbers to the left and right. They go to the left-hand side. If they spin it and put it through the hands, they're going to go into the corner. Defence is coming across here, and good defence from Mount Maria, and they take him in a touch.
Yeah, there was some promise there from St. Pat's Gympie Good Samaritan, but just ran out of room on that edge there, and Mount Maria were up to it defensively. As we just see that replay, and then that first half try scorer, Jordan Brown, was involved in that movement, but some good desperation from Mount Maria. So what can they do coming out of their own quarter here? Yeah,
you're probably right there, Michael. They just need somebody to hit that with patience, just through the hands, hoping somebody to make something happen, and then all of a sudden they ran out of grass. So let's see. We've seen this, I think, nearly on every set where they've come out from either end. There's a relieving penalty, but at the moment, Mount Maria going without the penalties, making some good meterage. So Pat's Good Samaritan. Same discipline.
We mentioned the referee before had a tumble. He did very well to get up, but it's a good shot too. The referees do a fantastic job here over this carnival. They are of a high quality, and the matches are in. It was a good gather there. So shout out to all those referees.
Well, they're learning as well. So you'll see them actually signal time off, time on, all that sort of stuff here. There isn't any, but that's part of their game. They have to know to do that in a situation where there is actually a time off a certain play. So they're playing to their best ability as well with the whistle. And we think we can't do it without them. Through the hands again. They come back into the field of play here. I just can't see the number. There might be the number 2 over there. I think is in Kyle Cook. He'll get up and play it. Whistling pass left to right. It's a little bit harder here. Jordan Brown gets a double. Razzle dazzle, twinkle toes. Brown goes over and scores his second.
I was about to say, I wonder where they can get Jordan Brown involved. He's been quite dangerous for them, and there he goes with a couple of steps, and he's under the post, and there's 6 minutes to go here, and it's going to be 14-12 if the kick goes over. So we're in for a really good finish here. Brown in the middle of the field here too. This is not a traditional a try for a number 4, but there he goes. The dummy just brushes through a tackle, and that step, he's got a great step, is quite dangerous. So well done to St. Pat's Gympie and Good Samaritan. We said before, what could they do to recover here? They've recovered really well, and we're going to have 2 points in it with 5 minutes to go.
Well, he is going to convert that. I missed what happened. Was it a little chip kick here in the halfback grab at the number 7?
Yeah, there's a chip little. It was also more of a clearing kick, and it was grabbed and gave the field position to Good Samaritan. St. Pat's Gympie, as we say, that little step and through that middle. Sometimes we know that those quick-footed players coming through the middle late in the game can cause real havoc.
Well, Campbell did it at the other end against forwards, and then we see Jordan Brown do the same thing with the big man in the middle of the park here. So they hang on to 2 points here now to Mount Maria as Neil gets underway. Just under 5 minutes remaining. First game here, Confraternity 2023. We're in for a thriller here, as you'd expect. No quarter given by either side. Never say die, even though it's a long weekend. A long week, I should say. There's certainly a lot of energy out there. Hang on the ball. You can see they don't come to this right-hand side. They've got the numbers and the wheels. Again, they try to go up the middle. There's some big bodies in the way there. He's just hanging on by his fingernails. He'll get across the halfway line there with the lock forward in Burness. He's had a great game as Burness. That's allowed to bounce, play on. It's with that man Jordan Brown. Oh, he's got some steps. Michael Crutch. Geez, he reminds me of a commentator to my left. Dance, can move those feet, little kick in, and it's going to be picked up at the back by the Mount Maria player. 3.5 to go. 2-point ball game.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous then for Mount Maria. That ball on the bounce.
Lovely tackling. I like seeing those gang tackles, all legal, of course. You want to come off the field with a few bruises and bumps and know you've had a game of footy. I think that player will be very happy with what he just received.
That's the nature of the week.
Yeah, Neil. They go to the right-hand side again, where Campbell is. Might be centre field. Anyway, that's 12 metres short of halfway. 3 minutes to go. You just want to get to their set of 6 kick from Jordan Leishman, one of the co-captains. I think he said he's a college captain too. Or was that...
that's at St. Pat's.
George Finger.
Yeah. College captain at St. Pat's Gympie.
Swirling conditions, takes it. But he's taken it on the 30. Oh, is that going to stay in the field of play? He's going to knock that on. The referee saw that, so just lucky. And unfortunately there for St. Pat's Good Samaritan, Dylan Garrahy comes up with an error.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go. You know how much these wins mean, because I just saw the touch judge from Mount Maria, as that ball was knocked on, appealed like a fast bowler at the Lord's Test. The referee was all over it. It was knocked on. So this could be some enterprise late here, though. Probably looking at maybe a set each if there are no tries. So
let's see this set play. They scored their last try from the set play. This one's just this orthodox move from the back of the scrum. They're not going to do anything fancy. Gets away from Jordan Brown. They're keeping the footy alive here. Mount Maria, they're not done. Centre 3/4 and Luke Bassman, and Bassman's going to be rolled over in a ball and all tackle. 19 metres out from the try line. Kneels at dummy half. Finds a forward, and there's a 16 in Oscar Clark, and Oscar Clark finds a wall. Stands in the tackle to Clark. Quick play the ball here. This is dangerous. Neil at his ankles. Picks it up nicely. There's a prop forward to Jordan Leishman, and Leishman driving towards the try line. He's a metre short. Mount Maria held him out last time, but can they do it again? Ball goes to hand, and Parsons not knocked on. Referee will say play on. Nah, gets called.
Giving the knock on now. So we've got 90 seconds to get this set here for...
Well, they need to be. I know they need to be quick to pack the scrum, but it doesn't matter because the clock doesn't stop. They need to get this packed. And And where's Jordan Brown? I think you'll find a kick.
That's right. That'll be
come in the back end of this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's no one back at all for Mount Maria. So we've seen this tactic employed successfully with teams, but will they do it? No, they're going to run it out from here.
We'll see how deep they go into the tackle camp before they try that, because you generally get a set of 6 in a minute of footy, which is what they'll have. So Mount Maria need to not give away a relieving penalty and hold their line, in the words of William Wallace. Hold, Braveheart style. Wait for them to come. They continue to pepper this blind side. That's 40-metre line. Tackle, trying to hold him down here. The referee, they're crashing in. Sam Neal's a mile offside, but they go to the left-hand side, and that's created half a gap here. Neal has to do the tackle, and he does so. 22 seconds remaining on the clock here. He'll get up and play it 9 short of halfway. They go to the blind side. No kick. Now it's with Brown. Brown goes back into the field. They flick pass here, keeping it alive here. Oh, St. Pat's Good Samaritan are not going to die wondering. 10 seconds to go. Last play, you would think here. 14 points to 12. Here comes a kick. Here comes the chasers. There's plenty of them. Time is up. They keep it alive here. They've just got to go to the right hand side. The referee's saying it's a forward pass, and that is full time. 14-12. Oh, for a moment there, Michael Crutch, I thought St. Pat's were going to steal it.
What a way to finish the first game of Confro 23. We had a last tackle, 10 seconds to go, a chance to score a try to win, but Mount Maria wins 14-12, but I tell you, Good Samaritan Bly in their debut at Confro with St. Pat's Gympie, the combined team. They've got a lot to be proud of. They were excellent in that match, as we see.
Second half highlights.
The second half highlights here, starting with Brodie Campbell's dummy jinking away. So It was a great game, well contested, in great spirit. All the players are shaking hands now. There's Campbell's try, which was decisive early on. But yeah, John, if we're in for that for the rest of the week, it's going to be a very good week.
I brought my own defibrillator for that very, very reason. So, and he's just a set play from the back of the scrum here. This is always on, long cut-out ball, and he found his way to the try line quite easily, did Rainbow. And we thought, oh, that's the end of that. And all of a sudden, check this out. Jordan Brown. Remember this guy throughout the carnival. He's got a double. He had a double.
Yeah, and at the end of every game, you'll see on your screen now the players get together. There's a man of the match from one of the Confro selectors. They get a prize. So no doubt we've got some good contenders after an excellent first game.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. The second game about to come up. It's coming up to you at 9:30. We'll be back here for the second game here. This is Confraternity 2023.